Hello, Steven Universe fans, and welcome back. We are back on the air for another episode of the AFTERBUZZ TV Steven Universe After Show. We'll be covering the beginning of Season 3, so episodes 79 through 81. We'll see you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It is so incredibly good to be back. Oh my gosh.
It really is. It's been far too long.
Since January.
Yeah,
we
far too
haven't
long.
been in studio for this show since January, you guys. It is so good to be
Dear
back.
God, that's like half a year.
It has been half a year. It's been a little crazy. The airing schedule for this show is just like, here, have some more. Here, wait.
They really want to
forever.
torture us, don't they?
I think they do. It's a little crazy. Anyway, we're back. Welcome back. Everything is great. We are covering 5 episodes of Steven Universe because we got a nice little event. Super Watermelon Island, Gem Drill, Same Old World, Barnmates, and Hit the Diamond. And the song we chose is definitely for Barnmates because, let's be real, it's perfect wacky roommate shenanigans.
We also could have gone with the theme song from The Odd Couple.
We could have.
Yep.
There's many things we could have gone with, but
many things
someone
that
made
are-
a really good video for this
She
one.
hates me. There are lots of things.
But I think we could do She Hates Me. It's not work
Well,
safe.
we could. We'd just be explicit.
Yeah,
immediately.
for a Steven
right
Universe
out of the gate.
podcast. You know, for kids. All right, so I have the wonderful Megan Salinas with me.
Hey guys, you can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. We are checking our hashtag. That's ABTVSU. We're also going to pull the live chat up. So if you have anything fun to say, throw it in there. You may well get a shout out. So we had a lot to cover these 5 episodes. What do you think of this event?
Goodness great. Well, first of all, I think it goes without saying that we could go on and on about like ranting about the airing schedule for this show.
We only
because-
have an hour.
Yes. But I think given everything we've had to talk about, this is like some very plot heavy stuff. Yeah. And I feel like not one of these episodes was like a light, irrelevant, ooh, like cheeseburger backpack type episode. Which I love those types of episodes, but it's also nice to get all of that forward momentum given all the stuff that we had with Peridot in the last Steven Bomb. So this is really good.
I will say I'm very happy that the hot dog duffel bag showed up in an episode. I was
His
just like, it's the
unboxing,
hot dog
yeah,
duffel
from his
bag!
unboxing video, right?
Yes, consistency. I love it. I'm so happy.
Internal continuity for the win.
I will say for part of these episodes, I spoiled myself, and I'm a little disappointed that I did that because at some point in, I want to say March, Cartoon Network, their European site, released a couple of clips, and it wound up being a minute and a half of Super Watermelon Island and about 30 seconds of Barnmates. And I kind of wish I hadn't watched them that far in advance because a minute and a half is a long time when you have an 11-minute episode.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of the episode.
So I'm a bit disappointed in myself that I watched them because I think it took away from a lot of the surprise of Super Watermelon Island. That said, Watermelon and Gem Drill were a really good 1-2 punch to get back into this series after waiting
After
forever.
being away for 5 months.
And this is technically the second half of season 2. They're supposed to have, I want to say, 26 episode seasons, and this is the back 13. For some reason, Cartoon Network split it up oddly.
I don't understand Cartoon Network's policies about the way they're choosing to air things. That is neither here nor there, though. Same thing sort of happened to me because as clips were getting leaked, it's not that I went looking for them, but they definitely recommended, like, ended up on my YouTube recommended feed because you look up one Steven Universe song on YouTube and all of a sudden it's flooding your recommended stuff all the time.
Oh, and I'm seeing spoilery clips that aren't true. There's people going, hey this, hey that, hey this fusion, and I'm like, they haven't done that. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, given that we have a few more members of the team kind of kicking around by the end of it here, a lot of, not that it's ever stopped people from kind of theorizing before of what certain fusion combinations would look like, but now that we kind of officially have a few members, extra members on the team, it's a lot of people are like, ooh, what would it be like if these two people made a fusion and everything like that?
A lot of people are calling for Lapis and Peridot. And part of me is like, that would be super interesting. And part of me is like, that would last a second and a half because Lapis has been in a hate fusion for the past couple of months. I think she's done for a while.
I was going to say, yeah, I feel like Peridot's still not ready yet. And I don't think Lapis will want to fuse with anybody for a good long while. So I think
potentially ever. Traumatic experiences. I want to talk a little bit about Lapis, and I know this is skipping ahead and I don't care. She is just an angry teenager. Like, let's be
this plan sucks.
Part of me is a little like, really, this is what we're getting? But I think that's because we had this artificial break for almost 6 months in the middle. So we're sitting here going, we don't know much about her. There's been a lot of theories. We're going to find stuff out. And now it's like, she's an angry teenager and that's all we're getting from her, right? Okay. So I think it's the long break that makes that revelation a little bit of a letdown. That said, I think when we have more episodes and we get more into it, I will appreciate it more.
I don't think of her as an angry teenager, although I can definitely see that parallel. I feel really bad for her. Like, and I totally understand why she's acting the way she does, because she's been used by everybody in her life. It's not like, you don't understand me, Mom. I'm going to go in my room and listen to some Blink-182 or whatever. That's not it at all. It's just
simple plan.
She literally has nowhere to go and only one friend. Only one real friend. So I don't blame her for acting the way she does.
But I'm also kind of wondering why she went vacationing in a war zone in the first place.
She was only supposed to... She was there for a mission. I don't think Crystal
She said visit. She didn't say mission. She was there on a visit. Like,
it might have been a diplomatic visit.
Who let a potentially high-ranking gem go down here with no guard and that? Wow, you guys.
Who sends 5 rubies to go get a Jasper?
People who think that rubies can actually accomplish their mission.
I'm just saying the Gem Society clearly has a lot of problems, only some of which are tied to the intelligence of the people in charge.
Oh my God, rubies are so dumb. I'm so happy. And that whole little bit when the eye crash lands and it opens up and the ruby comes out that has their gem in her eye, someone took that and put it like not frame by frame, but like shot by shot with Vegeta's initial arrival on Earth, and it's parallels all the way down.
Rebecca Sugar does love her anime.
If the Steven Universe staff can put an anime reference into an episode, they will. And I think that and the Utena reference have been my 2 favorites so far. just Vegeta coming out of the pod and then this Ruby coming up with a ruby in her eye. Like,
I've never seen all of Utena.
Happy.
What was the Utena reference?
It was a while ago. I think it was in We Need to Talk.
Okay. Because I've only ever seen clips from Utena.
Yeah, just bending someone over and the hair covering the kiss. Utena is something that you need to invest some time in it.
I hear it's a trip.
It's very dense and really weird, and I definitely watched it in 9th grade, which is not when one should be watching Utena. I was not prepared for... No, 9th grade. I was not prepared for that. Anyway.
I was going to say, I hear it's a hoot. But yeah, let's get back to this show.
It's something you want to tackle in college.
Let's get back to this show.
So let's go back to Super Watermelon Island, because I love the opening for this. We get to see the Stephen Melons. We get to see human sacrifice, which is not
watermelon sacrifice.
Close enough. That is not something I was expecting on this show. So that was, this is cute. Oh God.
I'm wondering why it's malachite, right?
Yes.
Together they make malachite.
Yes.
Why does malachite eat watermelons? Gems don't need to eat.
I don't think malachite is stable. I think malachite's a little cray.
I don't understand the need for this sacrifice. I would understand if they sacrificed him by pushing him over the edge of the cliff, but like straight up getting eaten confused me. It was very like, are they treating malachite like a titan, or?
I think it's because it resembles Steven, not for
yeah, they painted the star on it, and
that makes a lot more sense.
And we find out
so she does want to go all titan on him.
And we find out that Steven can do this weird little drift compatible thing with melons and occasionally other gems, which is definitely going to come into it in Gem Drill.
He can astral project into a watermelon Steven's body, which begs the question of, could Rose astral project herself into the various plant life creations that she had?
Or it might just be a Steven thing because of the mix, because in Chillatid, he went to go visit Lapis inside Lapis's mind, which was crazy. But he was basically in Malachite's mind having a nice little conversation with Lapis and Jasper. So I was like, okay, Steven can do some gloriously weird stuff.
He's psychic now.
I will say that even though I saw this fight in advance, getting to see it again was just so good.
It's a great fight scene. It is fantastic. We get to see Alexandra, and we actually get to see Malachite sort of get on the same page with herself and actually be a threat, because when we were introduced to her, she was immediately submerged under the ocean.
Well, it sounds like at this point that Jasper is in charge. Yeah. It's less an in harmony thing and more Lapis
Lapis is tired,
is
now.
wiped out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just I feel so bad for her. She also did that to herself.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, there was an analysis post. I don't remember who posted on Tumblr. I read it forever ago, but I love it. Talking about how keeping them down there as Malachite wasn't just an I'm keeping Steven safe. It was also kind of a punishing Jasper thing.
Oh, no,
so
absolutely.
Like, this is bad for everyone involved, but I'm still going to do it. Like, oh, you are an angry teenager.
They locked her up on the ship on their way back, and they probably had her locked up on the way there. So yeah, of course she's going to be. And we saw her reunion with Peridot. There's no love lost there.
Oh my goodness, no.
So I don't blame her. And we also don't know about the type of people that Peridot and Jasper were before coming to Earth. And we know what types of characters they were, but we don't know what they had done up until that point.
I feel like it wasn't incredibly terrible.
Well, for Peridot, no, but Jasper's was in the war.
Yeah, but Jasper also seems like a very straightforward kind of gem. She
hasn't stuck around long enough for us to know.
She doesn't seem terribly cruel, though.
I don't know. I kind of see the exact opposite. She headbutt a little boy.
That's true, but she also was functioning under, "You're Rose, why are you so tiny?"
Yeah, and she saw a tiny person and decided, hey, you know what that tiny person needs? A headbutt to the face.
That's about how big rubies are.
So?
We do need more, but I'm not willing to write her off as the villain yet.
No.
I will say that it was hysterical that it's like, she's back, she's gone.
But everybody who has compared Jasper to another character, the character she keeps getting compared to is Vegeta. And what was Vegeta before he became a good guy after like 5 years? He was a bad guy who had done bad guy things. I'm just saying. I don't know what you want from me. There,
I realize I can't do
argument.
the pointed staring because this is in some forms an audio podcast, and that's not fair to everyone listening.
No, you have to use the power of your imagination to see the look that
Just imagine
look
us
that
staring
Katie gave
pointedly at each other.
I don't
that'll
know
work.
what that look was supposed to mean anyway. So please verbalize your feelings.
Let's just move on. I did love that the Stephen Mellons basically went Gulliver's Travels on this. That made me super happy.
And again, it's nice to see a plot point come back, because they wandered off and we're like, okay, I guess they're gone now.
And I love that we had this tiny little bit that was very obviously Mommy Mellon with a skirt and Daddy Mellon with a tie and a baby. And when they went off to war, Mom put on war paint and Dad stayed behind with the kid. Like, that was a very pointed little thing.
Yeah.
Like, yes. I love you guys. Yes.
Yeah. Do watermelons have gender?
I guess when they're Stephen Mellons? Question mark?
Anyway.
So yeah, we end that particular part of the two-parter with Jasper falling down a hole, which, again, she's back.
Womp.
She's gone. We have Lapis, but the warp pad's destroyed, and they are not going to be back in time to stop the cluster, which is evidently causing earthquakes because it's about to form.
Yeah, and talk about timing on this one.
So we swing into Gem Drill, where it's just Steven and Peridot in the drill going down to take care of the cluster. I love should have brought some music. Elevator music. How are we going to fit everyone in here? No, I don't know. It's just like, for all of the planning you did, you didn't really plan this.
No, this was a very poorly planned operation from the get-go.
But Gem Drill, this episode was really emotional and also a complete trip.
Yeah.
Because we still have Steven the empath, who is it looked very Miyazaki with all of the faces, and it was supremely messed up.
Well, I was going to say this is one of the most anime episodes of Steven Universe I think that we've ever gotten, because this whole communicating with the cluster, it was a very, and I can't draw from any specifics, but it was a very anime thing in terms of like the backgrounds, the way that he was communicating with him. It felt like something out of Rasafan or Evangelion, or like,
Again, it just hit me as really Miyazaki.
I didn't get a Miyazaki feel from it, but again, yeah, definitely like something where main
Very
character,
anime, very messed up, very, are you doing okay?
main
You seem to
character
be
is in a
hallucinating
void somewhere, and there are pretty lights, and he's communicating psychically with people. That is about as anime as you can get.
You seem to be hallucinating a lot. Are you okay?
But I mean, it's disturbing when they're on their way down there, because he's like, well, surely there's like a way we can fix this. And
Peridot just telling him, we can't. They are so broken. They don't know who they are or what's going on. They're just trying to find other gems so they can feel whole. And Steven using that to be a little gem matchmaker when he's down in the cluster, saying like, see, you can meet each other and you'll have time to talk and it'll be great and you don't have to form. And then all the gems bubbling themselves to help. Just like, oh.
Yeah, and that,
oh my God, emotions.
the way that Peridot described them is like they are too far gone to be helped. They are beyond help, but that all they are left is like a kind of vague impulse to try to become whole again.
Yeah.
And that when he starts talking to them, that it's just need to form over and over again.
Can't stop. Just like, oh. It's painful. This whole thing is just painful.
And each and every one of those shards was like one of our members, one of the crystal gems.
It was the people ones.
Yeah, exactly.
This is basically someone making Frankenstein's monster with a whole bunch of...
It's kind of
messed up.
I was going to say, not to get into spoilers for another show, but that bit, very FMA.
Oh.
Tell me I'm wrong if you know what plot point I'm talking about.
Oh my God, you're not wrong, and that is really, really messed up. Oh,
sorry.
Okay. The other thing we should, chat's talking about the Shikon Jewel.
Oh, yeah.
That too. That anime has a thing for making large, destructive things out of a whole bunch of living things.
I feel like the Shikon Jewel had that many gem shards for how many episodes of Inuyasha there were.
Tell me about it. Oh my God. Yeah, the other bit I want to talk about for this episode is just the conversations with Peridot, talking about, I can't go home, you know, it's hard not to have feelings for the place you're from, but I have other things, like you guys.
Aww.
And just when they think they're going to die, and it's like, do you have any last words? I love you, Peridot. Wow, thanks. The return of wow, thanks, which was not something I caught the first time I watched this episode, because Steven taught her that's what you say when someone gives you a gift.
And the gift he gave her was love.
It's just like he thinks it's his last minute on Earth, and he wants to make sure that she knows she's loved. Like,
shut up. I'm not crying. You're crying.
oh, I was crying. There were noises. They were undignified. It was pretty great. And then just making, when she starts drilling and Steven's freaking out, stopping and making sure that he's going to be okay.
Because he can feel it. Yeah.
Before she ups the intensity. And I'm like, yep, this is a new Peridot. This is pretty dang great. So that just... my feelings for that episode. So many feelings.
It was extremely well done and extreme. Some people might argue that the cluster bubbling itself was anticlimactic. Like, oh, that problem's dealt with. But, like, I think for the emotional catharsis that we got, I think it was well worth it.
This is not a show where out-and-out violence solves very many problems. Again, even with just the gems that become monsters, they don't kill them. They don't shatter the gems. They just bubble them. So again, for all the combat that happens in this show, this is really not a show where fighting solves a lot of overarching problems. And I like that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Gotta hand it to a show that takes the pacifist route.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about Same Old World, because we don't have a ton of time, and we've got 3 more episodes to hit. Let's talk about Lapis. just, we haven't gotten to see her in a larger capacity in quite a bit. And Steven points out, the only time I ever see you is when something bad's happening.
Aww.
Everyone's like, accurate. I love them taking this little flight tour. I thought this was super cute.
You should move to Jersey because they hate the Earth too.
Ready, Freddy? My name's Lapis. Like, okay, we're going back to the no prob Bob joke. And then we're bringing the Bob joke back for Hit the Diamond. Which, like,
Bob.
I love this show. I love this show. I love that Jersey is still a thing that exists. I immediately go Hamilton. Everything is legal in New Jersey. It's still a terrible place. And the fact that all of the towns that Steven lists off, knowing off the top of his head in the tri-state area, are Surf City, Sea City, Aquatown, Bayberg. There's a lot of coastal towns here.
Well, he lives on a coast, whether that's the East. I assume the East Coast since he's near a Jersey.
And Empire City, which is obviously supposed to be New York.
So yeah, of course, all the neighboring towns it would be the equivalent of our going up and down PCH.
That's true. But I'm also thinking, how differently did this world develop when so many of its mountain ranges and plains and whatnot were kindergartens?
I think honestly, I don't think that's it. I think it was just a punchline, and Steven doesn't get out for all of his going, on warp pads and everything like that. He hasn't seen very much of the Earth itself. I mean, it was a big deal when he went to whatever state the Keystone State is supposed to be.
I think it's just Keystone State. Like, it's called Keystone State.
I mean, he hangs around Beach City all the time, but it's not like the Gems take him out on road trips. He's never even been in a real classroom. Like,
That's true.
He probably just doesn't know a lot about the Earth that he lives on.
He is
That's
super
all.
homeschooled.
And homeschooled by people who don't pay attention to the Earth.
I feel like Pearl would be both the best and worst teacher.
Yeah.
In that respect, just like, oh, you tried. We did the thing. We have a mirror that will educate you. Turns out it's a person.
The one time she tried.
Yeah.
One time
Turns
she tried.
out it's a person. That was, God, poor Lapis. So yeah, she vacations on Earth and gets stuck on Earth and gets shoved into a mirror and then gets cracked and just like, her life is pain.
Something is being highlighted in the live chat.
Huh. Delmarva is the name of the state he lives in, which is the name of the tri-state area, according to Ordinary Passerby. Do me a favor and send me a link for that on Twitter, because I don't think I've ever heard that before.
I don't know what version of Earth this is.
Links or it didn't happen, you guys. I like to back up what I read.
Cite your
because
sources.
Yes,
they
please,
teach us that
cite
in
your sources.
school.
They teach
Cite
you
your
that on
sources.
Tumblr. She's going to tell you all these things. Is any of that true? No, but it sounds great.
Somebody else is saying Pennsylvania, it looks like, but I don't know.
Pennsylvania. Who knows? Who even knows? But like Keystone State, I'm fairly certain that's a nickname for one of the 50 states. I couldn't tell you off the bat. Empire City, New York being the Empire State.
I feel like this is one of those Simpsons jokes where it's like, these are the states that neighbor Springfield. One of those things where even though we know where the actual city it was based off of is, but like the state itself, it's kind of nebulous and ever-changing. So, yeah, same old world is basically, you haven't seen a lot of this world. I can show you the world. That was our other option for this. It was, and it was shining, shimmering, and splendid.
Except for Jersey.
Except for Jersey.
But that was super cute. And then it's like, you should stick around. All right, I'll stick around for a little bit. Oh, God, she's my roommate.
Well, and it was just so cute because Lapis is like, no, I'm the one staying here, right, Steven? Because the only reason she has to stay there is Steven. So talk about putting him in between a rock and a hard place.
So, swing into barnmates, which I think is my favorite episode out of these 5. I just enjoyed it so thoroughly. This is my jam. Racky roommate shenanigans.
Wacky roommate shenanigans
are my jam. I'm sorry. Occasionally they happen in real life.
Wacky wacky.
No, roommate shenanigans. I love it. It's great as long as it doesn't get mean-spirited. And this didn't, because Peridot is very obviously a different person, and Lapis hasn't had a chance to see this yet. So you can't blame Lapis for being mad at her, and you can't blame Peridot for being upset that she's really trying to make amends and everything she's doing is being rebuffed.
Well,
and poor Steven's caught in the middle here, like, I like you both.
And Peridot's not exactly the best people person either.
No.
You know, she tries her best, but man, she doesn't always do the best job at coming across to other people.
Okay, according to chat, the Keystone State is Pennsylvania. So
cool.
Thank you for that. That's super helpful.
That's
Thank
the
you.
Keystone State.
Yay! I just
They teach us this in school.
No, just capitals.
No?
Not
Yeah.
really nicknames. Yeah. Wyoming is the equality state, and I only know that because I lived there.
What's our state?
California.
The Golden State. I guess it's the Golden State, yeah.
The freeway state.
Anyway, I was gonna say it took me a minute to remember ours. Anyway.
Wow, it's been a long day, you guys. It's been a long everything.
Again, Peridot,
Wacky roommate shenanigans.
not exactly the best people person. But
What I
willing
also
to give
love
it a
about
go.
this is Peridot is trying so hard, and Steven's obviously helping her out. But when you see Lapis react, she comes down really hard on Peridot all of the time. But when Steven makes the same mistakes, it's, oh no, that's okay. Oh no, it's fine.
Well, again, he's her first friend in however many years
Eons.
it's been since she was initially put inside that mirror.
Yeah,
So,
eons.
fair enough.
So it starts with, well, let's make her a card. And Steven does the art, and Peridot does the meaningful from the heart message. And it winds up being, I'm sorry I interrogated you. You were full of useful information. That's a sincere compliment. That is a wonderful card. I'm so happy. That is great. And of course, Lapis is like, you absolutely have to be kidding me. And Peridot's, it's the art style. It's obviously the lack of noses.
Which is so funny because that's how I usually draw my happy faces.
Yeah. It's Steven and his art are so super cute.
It's
Brainstorming gifts. We should give her I could give her my Camp Lonely Hearts DVDs. What season? Season 5. Garbage.
And I like that she's actually gotten to see more than one episode.
Yeah.
I love that he finally let her sit down and like watch the rest of the series.
I feel like that's just something she's been doing in her spare time. Like, there's more than one episode. I'm sorry, what? Here's a bunch.
She accesses our internet and finds Wikipedia and is like, you lied to me.
Nah, dude, Peridot's total Tumblr trash.
And that is
What I
why
love-
Percy and Pierre are objectively the best for each other.
I have seen a lot of shipping analyses that way, believe it or not. Yeah, no, hang out in the Ruby fandom long enough, everyone has an opinion.
Oh, Lord.
It's fun. It's fun. Ruby fans are great.
That's a conversation for a different after show.
Yeah, for a very different time and place. Yeah, I love that she's been picking up speech cues from Amethyst. H2, oh my gosh, which I'm so happy. I just am. And I got your number.
I got your number.
It's like, you are looking up to the tiny courts in the group, aren't you? Aren't you?
Of course she is, and it's adorable.
It really is. I love that she still like falls flat on her face and runs on all fours. Like, I love just this really crazy little characterization of Peridot that we have now that she is no longer essentially the gem calculator of this little evil trifecta.
Yeah.
Now that she's come into her own, I love it.
What I'm really looking forward to is, moving forward is more of the general group dynamic. General group, yep. But because with introducing these new characters, it's taken a lot of time to get them established and to develop them to the point where they're even willing to stand next to the crystal gems without, like, just absolutely seething.
And now Peridot's like, I'm the new leader. And you're like, what?
Excuse me?
I feel like Pearl is almost the one I've been missing most because I
missed
just
Pearl
love
a
her
lot.
dialogue. I just love her. What? No, we saw.
And that's
Bless you.
And that's the thing is we all love the crystal gems. We wouldn't be doing the show if we didn't. So it'll be nice to see actually the crystal gems again at some point now that these two characters have been set up and have gotten a
Yes.
little time to develop.
And summarily left in the barn. But we need to get back to basics at some point. So, yeah, finally, Peridot does the whole, I know how you're feeling. You're lonely. You can't go back home. You don't have any friends. How could anyone else feel that way? Oh, wait, I do.
After destroying her tape recorder.
The pool goes down like a lead
cool.
balloon. I will say the scene with the pool where she's like, the water has been my prison for months, and it just kind of zooms in really dramatically. I keep thinking of the Western that we saw that one time.
The Man from Snowy River.
The Man from Snowy River. There's a point where it zooms in dramatically on the horse that killed this guy's father, and it is literally a din, din, din.
It's just the silliest thing.
I don't know if the clip's on YouTube. I'll have to find it and tweet it out later tonight if it is, but that's what this reminded me of. It's just the dramatic close-up and then looking back at Steven. It's okay, you tried. Like, wow, flipping a switch.
Yep.
And Lapis just straight up tells Peridot, I want you to leave. And Peridot does. It's like, oh, that's really sad. Which is the point where we have Steven saying, look, she's changed. I've gotten the chance to know her. Please just give her a chance. And Peridot comes screaming back because there's a roaming eye chasing her.
Yep.
Which is apparently a spy ship from Homeworld. And after a little bit of running around and, oh, there is still a giant hole in the barn. That's not good. Lapis just takes it out.
Which, I gotta say, Lapis Lazuli's theme, like the musical cue, her theme song is one of those things that instantly tugs at my heartstrings. And so anytime it creeps its way into the show, it's hauntingly beautiful. And so it always it's one of those musical cues that really grabs my attention, and we get that cue just before she helps out and basically knocks down the spaceship.
Using the very tiny pond.
Yeah.
And then asking if Peridot's okay. Like, oh, you're trying. Oh, this is cute. And then this is when we get the Vegeta Ruby coming out of the ship, which I still absolutely love that. And we swing into Hit the Diamond, which is a title that really screwed some people up when we were looking at it like, what do you mean, hit the diamond?
And then speaking of
Baseball!
anime, no anime is complete without a baseball episode.
Or a beach episode, but you know, we have so many of those.
But I'm very fond of the obligatory baseball episode of any given anime. I think one of my favorites was the one in Haruhi Suzumiya.
Oh, God, Haruhi.
And
That was so great.
That's usually my standard of comparison. I'm like, how good is this compared to the Haruhi Suzumiya baseball episode? And I really liked this one. This one was really great, not only because we get to see Ruby and Sapphire again, but it had a lot of really great comedic elements. Comedic timing on a lot of the lines from all of the characters was really well done.
I just loved how gloriously oblivious, bordering on flat out dumb a lot of the Rubies were.
Yeah.
And that we got very one-note personality from all different ones, but it was various one-note personalities. And, you know, Vegeta says thank you at the end, which is like, oh, that's real cute.
Well, and again,
I love the clueless one. What a beautiful planet. That's a lovely sounding planet.
Remember what happened last time? Oh, Ruby.
It's a noodle incident that we will never know about.
Nope.
Like, what happened last time? We just don't know. So Ruby goes to infiltrate the Rubies, and she's terrible at it. There's nothing in the barn. Oh, I didn't notice that barn. Let's go search it.
They want to search the barn.
We saw. We heard. It's okay. Go out. And then Steven being her backup and then handing him a bat. Here's the backup for your backup. Like, I love this. I love you. I've missed everyone. This is great. And then, well, we're going to go search the rest of the barn. You have to play us in baseball first. And Sapphire's bit was my favorite. Like, I saw this as a possibility, but I'm still surprised that we're actually doing it.
I feel like that was something one of the writers said. Like, they were all in the writer's room together and they were brainstorming stuff. And then, like, whoever was in charge of scripting this episode was like, I know that was on our board, but I'm just really surprised that's the one we're going with. Baseball. Okay.
And I just love that, you know, future vision is a thing, but it's not world ending, but I guess universe breaking thing. Like, it's been shown to be inaccurate. It can be one of many, many things, and it doesn't make Garnet or Sapphire infallible. And I love that about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because usually if it's, oh, I can see the future as a plot point, then you're hosed. I watched Legends of Tomorrow, and boy, did that have some problems.
Well, and let's face it, her ability to guess the right one is very dependent on whether or not the plot needs her to.
Yeah, pretty much. Just circumstances. You can be prepared, but you can't be prepared for everything. So we have a baseball game with the rubies, and I love Lapis going, this plan is dumb.
This plan sucks.
You are a teenager. You are. And I love that she went by Bob, bringing back the Bob joke. Like, just this whole series is nothing but callbacks to previous moments in the series, and I just...
Well, and again,
so
and it's
happy.
a subtle callback, because how long ago was that episode where Steven said, "No prob, Bob"? It's Lapis.
Forever. Halfway through season 1, because when was the last time we saw Lapis and not Matt? Oh my god, it was halfway through season 1. Oh my god, it's been so... I did my waiting, 12 years of it in Azkaban. Okay, let's continue on.
But the big conflict here is not only trying to beat the rubies, who, just like every other gem, have super strength,
super OP,
and are super fast when they need to be, and everything like that.
It's
Ruby and Sapphire
being useless lesbians.
And
I
that,
love it, and it was adorable, but boy, they were so distracted.
You might want to explain that term for anybody who's not on Tumblr who might be offended by that.
Yeah, that's just the Tumblr joke, is that you're so completely taken by your love interest that you can't do anything else.
Doesn't actually mean that the characters are incapable or anything like that. It's just they're so much in love.
So distracted by each other that it's like, you're tanking the plan, you guys. We need to actually win. You're tanking the plan.
Yeah. But they are so cute.
Oh, they are absolutely adorable. It's just the ridiculous flirting. Like, what are they doing? And just Lapis flirting. Teenager. That's where it is. She's a teenager.
No, she strikes me more as a realist. Just a very, very weary, cynical realist.
Yeah. So, yeah, and going back to check on Peridot. How's it going? We're doing fine. Everything's going to be A-okay. You're lying to me to make you feel better. Thank you.
That was super cute. And I gotta say, I love the Crystal Gems names, too.
Earl, Amy, Bob.
It was so cute. And Steven.
It's just... This whole thing was just ridiculously adorable. Explaining baseball, watching them play, watching the copious amounts of flirting, and then stop being cute, keep your eye on the ball.
Pun intended?
What did I just say?
The I will say that it is a little, the drama here is a little, granted, it's a baseball episode, so take drama with a grain of salt. It's a little undercut by the fact that they aren't looking for Peridot. They are, in fact, looking for Jasper. And again, that kind of makes Peridot's like, I'm standing up to Yellow Diamond thing and calling her a clod to her face. It's like, wow, guess she really didn't care about that, like, at all.
Just because Yellow Diamond really doesn't give a dang in the grand scheme of things, if she doesn't care, we don't know. We haven't talked to her. That doesn't make it any less of a big moment for Peridot. And even if the rubies aren't looking for her, she still runs out and basically says, no, don't hurt my friends. They're not going to fight my battles for me. Like, even if it doesn't really have larger consequences for everyone, it's still a big moment for her.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty big deal.
And the fact that they haven't sent anybody to investigate the cluster after Peridot called her a clod to her face and was clearly insubordinate and Jasper's been MIA, the fact that they haven't sent anybody to go and check on the cluster shows just how little the Diamonds probably think about Earth in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, they hate it and they want it to die and blow up or whatever, but it's also just one tiny planet in a larger universe of planets that they've conquered.
They do have this, giant bioweapon that they want down there, and I would not be surprised if they send someone else to check on it.
I'm just surprised they haven't.
God knows how long space travel takes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, given that it was supposed to erupt at this point, I'm just surprised that they're not like looking at it and go, wasn't that supposed to, like, 5 minutes ago?
Well, you don't want to have gems on the planet when it goes off. I mean, problems.
Well, no, I mean to go and investigate.
That's true.
Going along that same line, imagine the planets where they did forget that there was a cluster and they just destroyed a planet without any sort of advantage to their culture.
They may not have had a cluster on any other planet, though. I think this was a one-off experiment on a planet that they'd rather destroy than use.
I think what Mark is getting at is that this planet means so little to them. I mean, again, they want it gone and they want it destroyed, but one planet getting destroyed in the grand scheme of things does not matter to them at all.
Yep.
Well, yeah, no. No, these are great big conquering yay. I lost that sentence so badly.
It's okay.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Anyway, Neptune. We know where she is. She's on Neptune. Well, why didn't you say so? Like, God bless.
Pluto would have been too small, even though it was further away.
Pluto's not a planet anymore.
Nope.
Did
they change it back? I don't remember.
It is now considered a dwarf planet.
Okay. That's what I thought. I was going to say, I know they changed the categorization a little while ago.
Yeah, for those of us who could not let go of our 90s nostalgia, Pluto is kind of a planet.
But yeah, so they're going to Neptune.
Planet. So they're sending the rubies to Neptune, which...
How long until they come back or more competent soldiers come in?
Season finale.
Hopefully.
Who even knows?
Hopefully
God
sooner
knows
than
what
that.
the airing schedule for this is. This is insane.
Hopefully sooner than that. I'm really liking this plot stuff.
Yes. So, yeah, for those of you wondering, we did see the French leaks. We're not talking about them until they air in America. So,
That's not fair.
Yeah, that's not fair. So, do us a favor, keep it out of the comment section for this episode for people who want to stay unspoiled, because again, it's not fair to them. I watched it in advance because I knew Tumblr was not going to wait. So, and lo and behold, Tumblr did not wait.
Because Tumblr.
Because Tumblr.
Which is why I stay off of Tumblr.
We're all very enthused. There's nothing wrong with enthusiasm, just got a spoiler tag. So, yes, final thoughts.
Just all in all, it's really nice to just see this show again. That it's just everything that we got in this run has been really satisfying, and I want a consistent airing schedule. That's all.
Yeah, tell me about it. All right, so before we swing into predictions, we are going to talk to you guys a little bit about iTunes, because iTunes is a wonderful, lovely thing, and we love that you guys leave us reviews on it. Because our producers see these reviews and they're like, hey, we have this once a month show about rocks. Everyone seems to really like this once a month show about rocks. We should keep it. And that's why we stay on the air, and it's lovely. Also, if you leave us reviews, we have 3 new reviews. This is wonderful.
Yay!
You get them read out loud. So we have great review show by Ninja Squirrel. I like the format and good insights. During the hiatus, you should go back, do early episode reviews. Yeah, we the impetus for that has passed, unfortunately, and we were all super busy.
The studio here is extremely busy.
It really super is. But still appreciate it. We have a fun and funny companion to Steven Universe by Crutch Kit. This is a very good podcast. It's clear the hosts are fans of the show and love to talk about it. The pacing of the show is good, and they cover a lot of material fairly quickly without skipping over important details. It's great to listen to people talk about the show in a way that proves they're as passionate about the series as I am. If you like Steven Universe, you should love this podcast. Oh,
that's very sweet.
And I have thanks from Kika Rock 672. Hey, first discovered you guys on the Star Wars Rebels after show. When I heard you're not only all together on a podcast, but that it was Steven Universe, let's just say I died of happiness. Are you typing from beyond the grave? Are you okay?
Aww.
Keep up the amazing work you do. Hashtag Gem Rebels Squad. You guys are lovely human beings and we adore you. Yeah, we are. Aww. Yeah, we are. So yeah, if you like this podcast, if you want this podcast to keep going, find us on iTunes. If you search AfterBuzz Steven Universe, we show up. Rate 5 stars, preferably, because we know you love us. Subscribe, leave us a review, get your review read on the air. And guys, seriously, thank you so much for listening, so much for watching. Do we have any predictions, avoiding the spoilers for what we've already seen?
I think we're gonna have to find out what happened to Jasper soon. I feel like, she's still alive, clearly, and I feel like whatever is the next big plot element is going to center around her and what happened to her.
All I'm throwing down right now is my Kingdom for a Greg episode. It has been way too long.
Yeah, not since Steven's birthday party, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I'd say the same thing for Connie.
Yes.
Yeah, we miss
Both.
her. We miss
Team
her so
Human.
much.
Team Human needs to come back.
I gotta see some Warrior Stefani.
Yeah. I feel like that's more
With those
season
sword
finale
skills.
territory, potentially sword and shield.
Yeah, and of course, more fusions. Let's get on that fusion train.
Let's work out some intimacy issues first.
Give it time. Give it time.
Intimacy
Give it
issues
time.
first. Yeah. So, Megan, where can the people find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @themenguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for the Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I am on Turn here. That's on Tuesdays. Everything else I'm doing is like once a month. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks for Red vs. Blue. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for Steven Universe. We will definitely be back. We love this show too much. Stay tuned. We'll tell you the next time we come back because what is even the airing schedule here? Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Wow, thanks!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.